Hello and welcome. The success of a venture largely hinges on the qualities or leadership qualities of the founders and initial members, employees. So, today we are going to discuss the various qualities that has been recorded to be the qualities of successful entrepreneurs, and then we will see. Means one has to know the qualities of successful entrepreneur, and then they can decide about themselves, or they can use that information for selecting co-founders or early employees. They are important for success of a business. Now, before we move on to the qualities, many a times we will be referring to mission, vision of a company and the leadership quality or shared vision for in particular. So, let us define mission and mission at the beginning itself, so that you are on board. So, vision actually is where the company wants to be in the long run, or what the company wants to accomplish over a long period of time, and eventually they want to achieve, they want to reach there. So, vision actually is a most of the companies mention vision as a statement, but it is actually what they want to achieve in the long run. Like, suppose you want to, as if something after 5 years, maybe we were talking about the drone based pesticide spraying business. For them, it might be to make this technology available to marginal farmer at a competitive cost, so that they can afford this technology, something like that. Meaning, any company would like to achieve that. That is mostly in the long run. Vision statement is a long term goal and is related to the dream and passion and what the company values. For example, if we want to presume that what Bill Gates' vision should be, it may be his personal vision, but it is around the company. So, he perhaps, this is kind of a hypothetical statement, perhaps would like to see that every household has a personal computer. But how he is going to make this happen moving forward over years of effort or technology development, that is not part of the vision. Vision is what he wants to achieve in the long run. Similarly, as we all know, Elon Musk envisioned to see humankind in Mars. They are traveling to Mars and they are residing there. So, that is his vision. Now, how he achieved that vision is not part of the vision, but then vision actually sets the mission and the strategies how to achieve that vision. So, for human being to be in Mars, we need a spacecraft, and then how the spacecraft should be designed so that they can go there at an affordable cost, and how they will be residing there under adverse climate condition, etc., etc. That is part of the strategies and mission. Now, vision sets the direction for your business planning. Once you have the vision, or you set the vision, then you plan. In fact, entrepreneurial venture should be started if you have a vision. If you have a vision around a problem, you want to solve a problem in a society, something like that. So, that is your passion, that you will find a solution. So, you set a vision, and then you make your own mission for a short term achievement, and you set the goals, and then make a strategy to achieve the goals, etc., etc. Now, founders have to first of all set the vision, and then whoever are working with them, founders should be able to communicate their vision to them, so that they have a shared vision. Everybody share the same vision and they try to achieve, and the hallmark of successful ventures are actually shared vision. All are on the same boat. Mission, on the other hand, is slightly shorter term, and it is the mission of an enterprise is about the purpose for which it exists and what it does on a regular basis, what it does and for whom it does that, who it serves, and then what value proposition it brings for the customer they serve. So, value proposition and their differentiation, like how they are different compared to competitors, that is mentioned in the mission. Mission statement explains its purpose for being and defines its culture, values, ethics and fundamental goals, and how these apply to its stakeholders. Stakeholders are many actually. Stakeholders are co-founders, employees, suppliers, then vendors, means distributors, then investors, then lenders, all of the people and enterprise organizations whose prosperity are tied with the prosperity of the business of the company. So, they are all stakeholders, they have a stake in some way or the other. It encourages, means the mission statement encourages the team to find innovative ways of productivity to achieve company goals. So, if all the employees are familiar with the vision, so they have shared vision, they also think that okay, this is where the company should be, and then they know the mission, so they will be aligned with the mission of the company, and then their own dream will be aligned with the dream of the company, and eventually they will they'll strive to give their best to achieve the goal. The company's stakeholders, as I mentioned, use this statement to align their goals with that of the company, with that of their own, means their own goals with the companies. Now, here is the mission, mission, ITC, mission, vision and values, core values of ITC, values in the next slide. Vision, it should be a short and simple. The vision statement should be short and simple. It should not be a whole paragraph or something. And ITC's vision statement perhaps is the optimum length. Sustain ITC's position as one of India's most valuable corporation through world-class performance, creating growing value for the Indian economy and the company's stakeholders, other stakeholders, even countries' stakeholder. The mission is to enhance the wealth generating capability, meaning that their vision is to remain at the most valuable corporation. So, the mission is to generate the capability to the value creation capability. So, there is an alignment here in a globalized environment, meaning the competitive world where global companies are also competing, fighting for the pie, delivering superior and sustainable shareholder value. Now, vision, mission and then core values. So, what are their core values? The values are also part of a very critical element that companies have to really keep, document and then present before its stakeholders, so that they all understand the value. Like trustship, all stakeholder has reposed their trust on the company, and they maintain standards so that this trust is never broken. Customer focus, they are always aware of the customers' needs or changing needs, and then they try to achieve better customer satisfaction moving forward all the time. So, the customer focus, respect for people, meaning respect for the team who are working for the company, their aspiration, their problems. It is from both within and outside the company, whosoever are part of the stakeholder. Then they always strive for excellence, meaning whatever they do, they try to do the best in the industry, and they have in the close to their heart the value creation for the nation where they work. So, ITC is an Indian company. The owner is BAT PLC in Britain, but ITC is an Indian company, and then they try to create value for the nation as a whole. Some more examples of vision statement: Amazon, then Microsoft. Let us read just Uber instead of wasting time. Make transportation as reliable as running water, everywhere for everyone. So simple, so crisp and so meaningful. So they have obstacles on their way, and they are continuously trying to improve, like there are security issues, there are many more issues. So they want to achieve or reach to a place where transportation becomes almost like free flow water. Okay. Now, before we move to the qualities of entrepreneurs or successful entrepreneurs, let us connect them with why we should really study this. See, first of all, motivation for starting a company. We have already discussed, but just a quick review of them. See, why people are motivated to start a startup or become an entrepreneur. They identify pain, and then they are passionate about solving the pain, so they come up with a solution, so they start a company, or becoming own boss, or maybe hit upon a great business idea that would create great social value. So there is a compelling reason for them to start a business. Sometimes just people think that the present job is incapable of exploiting their creative talent. They have whole lot of innovative capabilities. So they think, okay, let me go out and start something and be my own boss, and then I decide what I do. I keep on creating new knowledge and then solve new problems. Some people start just to make a lot of money in short time. Some people are encouraged by looking at successful entrepreneurs. They want to emulate them, or they are motivated to follow their path. These are referred to as pull type of entrepreneurs. Means the opportunities pull them to become entrepreneur. There is another kind called push type. So when you have nothing to do, then you start a business. You are kind of pushed into doing this business without any option to do, any other option to do. So if somebody loses his job and then not getting another, so what to do? Okay, starts a business. But then many of such entrepreneurs have become highly successful entrepreneurs. So as long as you don't start a business, you do not know how successful you can be. If you look at data, it might be kind of threatening, as if you won't be able to, intimidating. You won't be able. Means it's too much of uncertainty, too much of risk. So maybe you will feel that it's not my cup of tea. But then, unless you start your own venture, you will not realize that you really have potential to become successful. So whatever is the motivation to create venture, the success appears to be associated with unique personality traits of the founding members. So we need to actually understand the qualities or the traits of successful entrepreneur, traits that will help us to become successful. So as I said, I have been always mentioning this. There are data that is intimidating, that something like 90% of the startup fail, and then 90% of the remaining fail moving forward, etc., etc. But then data are all biased, and then if you look at the failed entrepreneurs, you will realize that there are compelling reason or there are mistakes which could have been avoided just being slightly knowledgeable or with little bit of prior knowledge. So one should not be pessimistic about these metrics. But then at the same time, it's very important to understand that entrepreneurial ventures are kind of besieged with or afflicted with uncertainties, though they vary from companies to company or type of business. But then it seems that entrepreneurs demonstrate, or successful entrepreneurs demonstrate, some unique skill to handle all these uncertainties, and they seem to have unique qualities. So today's discussion is about those qualities. Execution of an idea is more important than idea per se. You may not have a good idea, but if you see that some people are doing a business, and that business has huge potential, but this business is not executed properly, with proper execution perhaps it can translate into a great business. Then if you have a wonderful team and the capability to execute, so there comes entrepreneurial qualities, then you can make a wonderful business out of the same idea. So even more important than idea is execution. A search engine was there long before Google started Google, but then Google executed much better than Yahoo, much better than Lycos and many other such search engines, and Google is Google today. So, why so? Because the team was so great that they executed their business model much better compared to others. Studies on successful entrepreneurs reveal some common personality traits which are regarded as essential for success of the venture. Some of the traits are perhaps intrinsic and some are kind of can be acquired. So, that is why we should know means what are intrinsic and what can be acquired. Of course, there is no formula, but then knowing what are those traits will help us. And the criticality of course varies depending on the criticality of the business. The good part is that some traits can be acquired, and then perhaps most of us can become entrepreneur, but then it will pretty much depend on the complexity of the business, etc., etc. Now, there are many sources of list of qualities, many sources. In fact, many are confusing, but then there are some common ones. So, today what are being presented are the common characteristic features which can be regarded as qualities to become successful entrepreneurs. Here is a list, but then this is not exhaustive. I will not read them. We will discuss moving forward each one of them. So, just stay tuned. Leadership qualities is the first one. There is no chronological order, and you will see that some of the qualities subsumes many other qualities. Like leadership qualities is a quality, but it is a basket of several other qualities. So, entrepreneurs have to constantly plan. So, planning is a quality of a leader, and then preemptively act. You plan and act before competitors act, and then react, because plan will not go means things will not pan out as per plan. So, you have to react at times. Then adapt under evolving situation influenced by multifarious parameters, meaning that there are so many variables that is affecting your plan or your actions or your activities, your execution, that you have to constantly respond to that. Have empathy. We have explained what is empathy, what is the difference between sympathy and empathy, just to refresh your memory. Empathy is like feeling the pain by almost like suffering the pain. So, if you empathize with your friend as if you are actually feeling that pain, as if you are suffering from that pain, is empathy. Only then you can actually understand how seriously the friend is suffering. But if you have never experienced that kind of pain, you will say sorry, but you will not actually, you won't be able to feel that pain. So, once you feel that pain is empathize. So, you are trying to empathize, feeling the pain. So, in the context of business, entrepreneurs or founders have to really empathize with their customer, meaning they have to understand their pain by feeling the pain, not just customer, pain of the employees also. Otherwise, they will be doing injustice. They won't be able to manage relationship with the employees, the suppliers, the investors. They have to empathize with all of them. So, that is part of leadership qualities. They are confident. It is very important. They do not waver. They plan, they analyze, and then they plan, and then they stick to the plan, because they are confident that whatever they have planned is going to happen that way. But it may not always happen, but once they are confident, then other people start following them, and every time they are confident, people have a habit of following them, because they know that the leaders know what they are doing. So, feeling confident means you know what you are doing. They take full accountability. Whatever they do, it goes bad or good, wherever it goes, they take full responsibility that yes, I took the decision, I am at fault for all their actions. Continuing leadership qualities, they are honest and they are of high, their honesty and integrity are unquestionable, meaning that obviously self-explanatory. The communicate effectively, this is very important. Communication does not mean English communication or how fluent you are in English. Communication means whatever you are trying to mean, you are actually communicating that. Meaning, in another word, if I have to explain in simple English, communication skill means communicating maximum information with minimum word and communicating completely, meaning whatever is philosophy that you want to communicate, your listener get the complete meaning of it with minimum words. So, they communicate effectively means whatever is their mission, vision and whatever is the priority, that can be communicated. So, they can motivate all towards common goal, because they know this is our goal. But if you are kind of confusing, and if you communicate something now, something then, and it kind of confuses people, then they are not going to follow, and then people are going to feel lazy and they will not be activated to action. They inspire others while taking responsibility and giving credit for good performance. So, if somebody is doing something good, they immediately shower praise for that, but not for non-performance. If you praise somebody without performance, he will have a habit of demanding praise without doing it. So, anytime you do something, you say good, people will be enthusiastic to do it better and better moving forward. Their expectation will go up, so they will perform better. They set their mission, work passionately and are committed to achieve the goal. In fact, they try to push their boundary beyond the goal. So, every time they try to achieve more than what they set to achieve. They take the challenge head on and do not give excuses. So, they take the challenge, and then if they fail, they don't say that I did not succeed because of this, that, etc. So, they don't give any excuses, or they don't blame others that you did not do this, that is why this happened, something like that. Continuing leadership skill, they educate and delegate and empower subordinates, and then help them to grow and earn their trust and confidence, fostering an environment that proliferates such values through the team. So, team members also start educating their subordinates, and gradually it becomes a learning organization. They are creative and innovative. They are persons of integrity. This has been mentioned at the beginning. They are charismatic. Now, what is charisma? Let us just take a bit of digression and explain what is charisma, then we will come back to entrepreneurial qualities. Charisma, as it is defined in dictionary, is a special power that some people have naturally, that makes them able to influence other people and attract their attention and admiration. Suppose you are a man of charisma or a woman of charisma, so you will find easy acceptance by other people. So, you propose something, people tend to say yes, or you ask people to do something, they immediately do that. So, what can be better than charisma? You want people to do, you want people to give their best. So, here are the elements of charisma. One is be self-confident. If you are confident, people will know that okay, we need to follow this person. He is confident, he knows, or he or she knows what is what and what we are up to. Be polite, very important. Politeness does not cost any money, but be polite, you will find a positive atmosphere around you. Be patient, don't be in a hurry, or you want to get fast or something. Be patient, your turn will come. Keep the words. If you make a promise, keep it. Mention something, keep it. Come in time, do everything as per program. So, keep the words. Always have others' best interest in mind. This is very, very important. Suppose you are making an argument, or you are trying to make a sales pitch before somebody, you try to focus the interest of the other person, whatever their aspirations are. So, you try to fulfill that aspiration as if you are working for their benefit. So, they will be positively inclined, and then your job will be done better. Be experts in your own field. So, you become an expert in your own field. So, people will not bluff to you, people will know that you know. So, they will be kind of they will be respecting you in that sense. So, part of honest, and they are honest, these people are honest, people with charisma, ethical and above board, meaning they are real people, they do not pretend something, they are something or they pretend to be honest. It is not like that, they are honest. Not physically repulsive, meaning that they kind of is tidy, they are tidy, they keep hygiene, personal hygiene, so that you do not feel repulsive about this person. It does not mean that somebody should be handsome or beautiful or something, that whatever God has given, but you can always maintain nice dress, you can always maintain your personal hygiene, you can keep everything tidy, whatever you have. So, it is very important. They seem real, they are not artificial, they don't they don't behave like a humbug, like as if they are something hi-fi or something. They are real people, they are whatever they are. Listen twice as much as they talk is very, very important. In any argument, if you are talking when the other guy also is talking, you will never reach anywhere, whereas allow the other people, whether it is a team of people, group of people, just listen, so that they feel that okay, their point of view have been well taken. Then you tell them, okay, so you are done, now let me explain. The moment you do that, you will find a absolute silence, and then whatever you are going to say, it becomes acceptable to them. It is kind of a mantra. Last point is they are helpful, they are flexible and they are accommodative. So, they will be giving concessions to others, and then other people with all of this gradually become acceptable. You become acceptable to them, and you have a man or women of enormous charisma. So, come back to entrepreneurial qualities. The next quality in the order is people skill. So, people skill also is almost like part of leadership skill, but then some of the literature that I have followed mention people skill separately. Like this particular presentation, majority of the component in this presentation is taken from a book I have given from Harvard Business Review. The reference is there at the end. So, it is from there. People skill, founders have to be able to communicate their vision to all the stakeholders, so that all are committed to achieve single goal. Such stakeholders are all these we have mentioned. The ability to lead, get people invested in their ideas, gain confidence, give them a sense of belongingness, motivate to give their best. Very important. Everybody is capable of every human being is capable of doing great jobs. So, if you can motivate them to give their best, you can create wonderful enterprises, you can create success stories. Success of a business rests mainly on many pillars, and one of the pillars are the people, and one must communicate with confidence, give a sense of win-win and create an environment of optimism. Only then it becomes, the enterprise becomes successful. Now, some more elements of people skill, like leadership quality that has been discussed earlier, persuasion, how you emphasize and then try to pursue, influence, how much influence you exert, network building, meaning peer network, meaning connectivity with people that matter, ability to excite people by vision, shared vision, strong ethical and governance standard, meaning you don't you have a corporate governance, you follow the ethics that you have, that is the best standard. Then they abide by laws of the land and respect ownership of others. Laws of the land is quite understandable. Ownership of others, meaning that they don't infringe upon other people's right. They don't infringe on some technologies owned by others, some properties owned by others. So, they respect other people's ownership on all the assets. Next is the work style. they are goal oriented. They plan and they set the goal and then try to achieve that goal. They are comfortable with uncertainty. They are not afraid of uncertainty. As I have been continuously emphasizing that opportunities come with uncertainties. So, if somebody is not comfortable with uncertainty, they will never be able to venture into something that promise unprecedented growth or high growth. So, they should be comfortable with uncertainty. They are self-challenging, meaning that they set goal and then they try to push the boundary or push the goal itself, meaning that they try to achieve more, or they try to pit themselves against something which is larger than themselves, something that is more challenging than achievable. So, they are self-challenging. They are kind of solitary. Solitary has different meanings here, but then the meaning here is that they do not want to work under somebody and take orders, or they do not want to become a follower of somebody. They prefer to be their own boss and set their own goals and then achieve that. They are rarely satisfied. They are never complacent. They always are looking for newer and newer challenges, and then they are driven by plan and to be prepared. They prepare the plan and then they move accordingly. Experiment. They have a experimental mindset, meaning that somebody may say that I have never heard of this, but they don't never say this. They are experimental. They try to experiment and see whether this is possible. They don't say that nobody did this, so it is not possible. Okay with starting small and then recognizing and moving past failures. They can start with a very small, and then they know that gradually moving forward, they will create something big, even though they may fail in between. Perseverance in the face of adversity. So, they keep on pursuing even in the face of adversity, and then they become successful. They always look for better or different way of doing things, meaning better way of doing things. They have enormous ability to close a deal, meaning that if they are bargaining with somebody, they have unique ability like charisma. They have some ability to close deals. They are inclined to listen. They are inclined to trust people and take advice. So, they are not they are not egoist that they will think whatever they think is the best. They take advice from others as well, and then they decide whether this advice is good, better, or whatever. Next is the empathy to all stakeholders. This can never be overemphasized. Empathy actually will keep all the stakeholders in a single string, like a garland. So, it is very important. They strive to feel the pain of others and then solve it. For employees, they try to put themselves, replacing the employee in the place of the employees, and understand how difficult it is for them to perform, and then they realize with how much of difficulties employees are performing for the success of the company, and then they reward them accordingly. So, they try to empathize through feeling their pain by practicing like the employees. They believe that customers are always right. Customers can never be wrong. So, they do not kind of try to qualify that or try to argue on that. If customer is complaining, they should try to alleviate or ameliorate that whatever the pain is and correct it. And the company must strive to satisfy them to remain and grow business. Continuing from the previous slide, they are empathetic to all concerned. They try to feel the pain of the employees, as I mentioned. They try to align the company objectives with those of the employees and make generous package to the employees, so that they are happy at home and they deliver best in the company. Employees feel as if the company belongs to them. It is their own company. So, they will always try to remain there and then try to work their best. Empathizing with customer can never be. Empathizing with customer is part of empathy. So, no matter how groundbreaking your idea is, unless there are customers and they are paying you profitable price in exchange for the goods or the services that you give, there is no business. So, understanding customers and then empathizing with them is the hallmark of success of long surviving companies and gaining repeat, loyal, growing customer base. Entrepreneurs are financial savvy, meaning they are comfortable with finance. They know how the cash flow is estimated and what is the significance of cash flow becoming negative, what is the significance of profitability and how profit can be improved, how cost can be cut, etc., etc. They have a clear understanding of the cash flow, understanding of the bottom line, meaning profit. The burn rate means at what rate cash is being lost or burnt, or profit is generated, how value is created, why the pricing should be done like that, why we cannot reduce the price, why competitors are pricing it lower than us. They should know, they should understand. They cannot just casually cut the price, then there will be no profit. So, how much you can cut and why you should cut, how much market we are going to get access to, acquire, etc. They are comfortable with financial governance. They are able to manage money is very important, meaning financial savvy is one thing, managing money is another. Entrepreneurs or successful entrepreneurs can make a buck go a long way. 1 rupee you can do something. Entrepreneurs can do much better, means they can do more with the same 1 rupee. Those who are incapable of managing money surely fail in business. There is no alternative. One must know where from the money comes and where it goes. It's part of the cash flow. Do you earn less than you spend? If they have no clue, they're gone. The business is gone. And then if they know, then how to reverse the trend, meaning how to earn more than you spend. Do you have clear estimate of the shortfall over the months, and have you made proactive action to meet the shortfall, meaning raise capital or plan to raise capital at a time when cash flow is going to be negative? Experts have an eye for cutting cost without affecting operation or without affecting total number of customers. Customers should not go, without affecting operation and without affecting profitability. Poor fund management are frequently the cause of failure. We will take break here and we will continue in the next session on the same topic, that is qualities of successful entrepreneurs. Thank you very much.